Hi Peaches, it's Shaaba, welcome back to my channel and thank you for clicking on another video. I hope you're well. Today I thought we'd try something a little bit different here on the Shaaba channel. There are many worms. Worms? Wormholes. Look, if there are a lot of wormholes on the internet, I'm sure there are a lot of worms too. There are many wormholes on the internet, and one of the ones that I've fallen down recently, and had a really freaking great time doing so too, is looking at how everyday things are made. I don't know if you've seen these videos, but if someone's gonna take me behind the scenes of a Cadbury's cream egg factory and show me how they're made, you know I'm gonna sit there and waste 10 hours of my life watching that. So I thought we could go through some of them together. How does that sound? It's a little bit of fun entertainment, still fits the brand right, but we're still learning something. I mean, loosely, I'm taking that mission very lightly on this one. I thought it'd be fun, nonetheless. Should we give it a go? Alrighty, number one. I am seeing school fences. Oh my goodness. It is as simple as that. That is unbelievable. This is how fences are made. And number one, they are so wonk. I thought machines were supposed to be incredible and really precise and accurate, and I'm looking at these fences and I mean I've never thought about how a fence was actually made, but looking at it now, if I was to look at that, I wouldn't have thought a machine would have done it. The second thing that I'm thinking is, wow, the optical illusion of the little dials splitting in half and turning, it doesn't look real. I'm watching it again and again and it looks fake. I might be being trolled right now. Is this real? Someone else says it looks edited. I'm not the only thing that has thought this. Is this a lie? This is a lot of efforts for it to be a lie. I don't think it's a lie. Also, when does it stop? And how does it stop? Does somebody have to manually go and like tie them up into little knots? Are there knots at the bottom of gates? I've only ever seen these gates at school, and now I'm gonna have to go to one without looking like a weirdo and stare at the gate. Well, there you go. I had no idea. It also looks very fragile. It feels like you could just squish it. I can't squish a school fence, right? But that one just looks like you can go bloop. I'm sure that's not the case. I'm sure it's a lot stronger than it looks, and those little weight things that are moving at the bottom have done a lot of weights. They're a lot hencher than I am. But there you go. Alright, next one. Viennetta being made. I would work here too. That doesn't look like ice cream. It looks like such a tiny sheet. And I have to say, I love a Viennetta. I used to love a Viennetta. I would eat a Viennetta. It's not something I would order or go on my way to order, but I would happily accept a slice of Viennetta. It's the only ice cream that I think I would ever say the word slice to. Whoa, look at that. That fat one shooting out the gorgeous little thingies. I will say though, those little smears of chocolate are not doing well for the aesthetic eye, are they? That's not really a good visual to have for something you're gonna put in your mouth. Oh, wow, I like the one that's like swizzle, swizzle, swizzle like a little snake though, and those layers on top that look like blankets. I just want to be lying under that conveyor belt like this. Oh my goodness, and it goes in a little machine and it's chopped, and now it looks like a little train. There's 4 of them! Does that mean there are 4 machines that do the exact same thing? That's a lot of waste. That is a lot of waste in that little bucket right there. But oh my goodness, that was so enlightening. Who would have thought that Viennetta was made by a machine? I mean, to be fair, now that I think about it, I don't really think about it. Now that I think about it, I would have thought that because there's so much involved. You wouldn't think that one person's sitting there doing that all by hand. It also just amazes me, right, that there are these machines that are made, not just one, 4 of these machines that we can see right here that are literally created. That's like thousands and thousands of pounds, I'm assuming, of technology for one particular type of ice cream. Blows my mind. Also, what happens if there are other flavours? Because I'm pretty sure, like, maybe I'm making this up, is there like a Viennetta mint or Viennetta strawberry? Does that mean they need to create an entirely new machine? They put like ice cream and strawberry in it, so together it goes, I don't know! I have questions, Viennetta. I don't know where to go to answer them.
This is how traditional French butter is
Got
made.
one with sound
Le
here.
Beurre Baudier is keeping ancient techniques alive at its workshop in Brittany, France. Modern butter production uses a centrifuge to remove water from the butter.
Sir, the first thing I've noticed is that this person, maybe glorious French butter, is not wearing gloves. I mean, I get it, a lot of chefs don't wear gloves, but if you're creating butter, I would think you would be wearing gloves. Just point that out. You don't really want to put this online and not show yourself wearing gloves, just wear gloves.
But here it's done with a huge wooden wheel. This technique is known as malaxage. A worker folds the butter by hand. This takes at least 3 years of training to master, as the butter's texture can change depending on the seasons. The butter is salted and kneaded again to remove even more moisture. Then the butter is ready to be shaped. It's pushed through a machine that forms it into a tube. It's then sliced with a guillotine that dates back to the 19th century before being given to the shapers for a final moulding.
There's something so poetic about the fact that a guillotine is being used in the creation of French butter.
They work with small paddle tools to delicately transform the butter into the desired shape. It's all done by hand, so every piece is unique. Once it's perfectly shaped, the butter is wrapped and ready to be sold. Would you like to try it?
that looked like a butter brick wall. And then I just imagined an entire wall, like a house made of butter bricks. That would be so much effort, and then the whole thing would melt and come down, and it wouldn't be very satisfying. She did not just eat butter at the end there. Did you see? This person just grabbed a whole block of butter and just stuck it in her mouth like, oh, as if it was a sweet. I couldn't do that. I actually really disliked butter for a really long time. I disliked bread too. Like, I don't know what was wrong with me. Now I'm a fiend for a little bit of butter. Like, I will thickly slice my bread. Oh, give me a baguette and I will put like a shmear with a capital sh of butter on there. I used to hate butter so much, but even though I like butter now, I could not go, ooh, just butter on its own. Even just the thought of that makes me feel really ill. Am I the only one? Is that a normal person thing to just enjoy putting a bunch of butter in your mouth? Please let me know in the comments down below. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying I'm not one of you. I hope you still accept me.
A liter of the highest quality oil paint can cost up to $1,000. But why?
It took me like a good 5 seconds to register that what she was talking about was oil paint, and I looked at it and I was like, oh, that looks tasty. I think it's because we were just talking about butter. I do not want to eat paint. I do not advise that we eat paint.
It's all down to pigments. They're what give oil paints their bright, durable color. But finding and making them is hard. One of the richest blue colors, ultramarine.
Doesn't ultramarine just sound like an elite colour? You know, they'll be like red and green and brown, just like sitting there, chilling, and then ultramarine comes in.
Was traditionally made with lapis lazuli. The gemstone was mined in Afghanistan and crushed into a powder that costs $30,000 per kilo.
$30,000 a kilo. I mean, I like art, but that is a lot of money for paint pigment. It depends on how much you need, right, for that. Maybe you can just take a crumb and just turn it into paint just a little bit, and they'll just cost you like $10. Then maybe I would understand.
We used to turn actual Egyptian mummies into a pigment called mummy brown. Thankfully, we've now found ways to make synthetic versions of most pigments.
Ew! Can we just repeat what she said right there? Paint used to be made, a specific shade called mummy brown used to be made by crushing and creating pigment from actual mummies. Is this true? Always check your sources, friends. I mean, it's Insider. An Insider is normally a very legitimate source, but let's just take a look at that. Mummy brown was a pigment of paint that became popular in Europe during the 16th century. The rich brown colour was made from grinding up Egyptian mummies, both human and feline.
And once you've got the pigment, it takes a lot of skill to turn it into paint. It's blended with just the right amount of oil, machines, and rollers.
Look at that
grinding
blue,
a
it's
paint
like
too
tealy.
much can dull the color, but not grinding it enough can change the color completely. But if you get it right, the result is a vibrant paint that will last for hundreds of years.
Nothing is ever simple, is it?
Am I a good girl, Mummy?
What was that?
Am I a good girl, Mummy?
Oh my goodness. I heard, am I a poop girl, mummy? But this doll is saying, am I a good girl, mummy? Let's find out how dolls are made. That wasn't a great start, was it?
This is the world's biggest doll factory in London.
Is it just me that finds that hella creepy? Oh my goodness, the heads are just like little molds that look like really grayed out doll skulls.
Ouch, it really looks painful.
Oh, did you see how they pulled that out? That's like a big spot. That is a lot of tugging. That's a very big thing that comes out of a very small hole. It's kind of making me think of birth, and I just don't want to go there right now. Birth is beautiful, birth is fine, birth is a natural process, but that looks creepy.
Well, they say you've got to suffer if you want to be beautiful, and certainly this is a hair-raising job.
The puns in this are too much. Far too much. But just the idea, because even back in those days I can see that this is an older thing that was made. Well, you've got to suffer to be beautiful. Stop ruining generations of young girls.
You really get the feeling that you're being watched. It makes your eyes pop out, seeing the walkie-talkie doll's eyes pop in.
Oh my god! Wow, they paint those eyebrows so delicately. I need this person to, like, give me lessons on how to do my eyeliner. I mean, I'm pretty good, but I'm not that quick and smooth.
So that's how they get the lips looking like a cupid's bow.
This whole thing feels like something out the horror movie.
There's a tape recorder tucked away in the doll's tummy. When you want it to talk, you simply pull the string, and it says...
What does it say? Hang on, I need to come up with a good phrase. I am the physical embodiment of unachievable beauty standards.
I do love you, Mummy.
I was close.
Please tell me a fairy story.
Oh, please tell me a fairy story. That is the stuff of nightmares. Oh my goodness. I don't think that's how dolls are made now. Maybe it is. It's the China dolls that always, like, particularly made me... I mean, I thought they were so beautiful when they were not in my house. This looks like a really sad, slow, dizzy ride for these little mannequin hands. They're probably like, oh dude, I wish we'd chosen Thorpe Park. This is the worst roller coaster ever.
And then in bleach, they must remove every speck of residue.
Definitely a bad roller coaster.
Contaminant could lodge in the latex rubber gloves and create holes.
So these are latex gloves, like the ones that doctors use, the medical grade ones. Unlike the rubber gloves that we have at the sink, you really can't afford to have holes in this one. So yeah, I understand.
The ceramic hands twirl into round revolving brushes. Molds head into a chemical bath, which forms a film on the surface.
Oh, bless.
It's a critical coating because liquid rubber won't adhere to bare ceramic, but it will to this substance. The ceramic molds now reach into warm liquid rubber, which has been enhanced for extra strength. The liquid rubber reacts with the chemical coating on the hands and becomes gel-like.
That is so cool.
Coated with the rubber gel, the hands spin to shake off any drops as they head into an oven.
Baked gloves? We have baked gloves? I had no idea.
The rubber dries to the hand form. It also undergoes a chemical process called vulcanization.
Vulcanization. Somebody really boring and technical was like, how do I make this sound cool? Volcanoes. Oh my gosh, people do this manually by hand? Whoa.
A worker now stretches and inflates each medical glove to check for weak spots and holes.
Oh my god, that's amazing. For every single glove. I mean, I get why, but it just looks so funny, like a chubby little balloon hand, like... This was a fun video. Did you enjoy it? I had a lot of fun. If you enjoyed it, let me know downstairs if anything shocked you or there are other things that you want to see or the process of how it's made, let me know. I like the fact that I'm trying to make this channel kind of like school, but fun school. Is this where like my inner geek comes out? Because it's actually not that fun, but it's fun to me, okay? If you enjoyed this video, do give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I'll see you next time with another video. Be kind and have a great day. Bye!